Everyone, happy Thursday. Welcome to What's Brewing with Jim and Gigi. Hope you're all having a good morning so far and have been enjoying this really nice weather. I know yesterday was a beautiful day outside. Hopefully you were able to get outside. Same thing today.
Yeah, you're going to have a lot of options to enjoy this great weather because it's not going anywhere for a while. And I'm talking about probably the next 8 days, 8 consecutive days of highs around 80 degrees. Give or take a few clicks either side. Normal high should be around 62 this time of year, nearly 20 degrees above normal. I was looking at the record highs. You got to get to around 84 degrees to get towards record territory. We may flirt with that number a few times over the next 8 days, especially it looks like next week. But even maybe Friday into Saturday, a straight 84 inland. Can't rule it out, folks. I've already been cranking the air conditioner up in the house a little bit in the afternoon. Yeah. And we're going to be doing more and more of that. So I'll talk about the nice weather. But again, we are glad you're joining us this morning on this Thursday morning. Little fog on the coast as well. I'll show you where that is in just a little bit.
Yeah, I had to turn on the AC in my car yesterday. I got back from a run and it was hot in there. So it was nice, but
well, you would just run too.
Well, that's true. It was hot.
When you say run, this isn't like a quarter of a mile. How far did you run?
I did 5.5 yesterday.
Woo! Yeah.
Gotta do it. Gotta get it done. But
much respect.
yeah, it's been really nice outside, and it's also really nice to see everyone outside. Like we were talking about earlier this week, it seems like everyone's winter blues has been cured by this weather, and it's nice to hear that we'll be having this for a good run here.
Absolutely. Yep. And again, I'm going to show you some really nice numbers when we dig into that weather. Just a little bit.
Great. Well, before we get into that, we do have a story out of Pitt County. This morning, a neighborhood outside of Ayden has been experiencing some car break-ins. They've reported at least 5, and 4 of those 5 have been forced entry. And we've been getting some of the videos and pictures of these break-ins, and they're getting really significant damage on these cars. Items have been stolen out of the cars, and Pitt County deputies believe that the person who is responsible for all of the break-ins that have happened so far, and it's potentially that they are trying to break into hotwire the cars and steal them. They're still kind of working on this investigation though, but we did talk to a few of the people who have been impacted by these break-ins, and our Chris Cook has more on the story here.
Well, I'm a little bit paranoid that we are going to be the next one that's getting hit for the car, but so sometimes I can't sleep at night, so I just watch out my window.
A string of vehicle break-ins is rocking a Pitt County community. At the end of February, Pitt County deputies say there were 5 vehicle break-ins on or near Norris Store Road outside of Ayden. Teresa Gwynn is one of the alleged victims and says her husband saw the thief before they ran away.
It's very scary because you can't sleep at night.
Gwynn said her car's damaged and the part she needs to fix it is discontinued.
It's very annoying. We might even have to go to the junkyard and try to find one unless they want to piece that one back together, and that's not what we want.
Deputies said 4 of the 5 break-ins were forced entry into locked vehicles.
That is not how we generally see vehicle break-ins. In most of them, people work neighborhoods and they check for unlocked doors.
Lieutenant Lee Darnell said all 5 break-ins seem to be related, and it appears the person is attempting to hotwire and drive off with the vehicles. Residents say the entire neighborhood is on edge.
I can honestly say, like my husband and I, we're waking up throughout the night, looking out our windows, checking to see if there's anything going on.
I know it truly has rocked many of these people's lives in this neighborhood. I mean, we spoke to 3 different people in that story there, and every single one of them said it keeps them up at night.
It would me as well.
Yeah,
actually,
I agree.
had my car broken into and my barn.
Oh my gosh!
Down in my neighborhood. Yeah, but this is over 20 years there. I act like that's
okay.
Still, it's scary.
Mm-hmm.
Just the thought of somebody that's not supposed to be on your property, rooting around in your stuff and stealing your stuff. It is a scary thing, and hopefully they can find the person doing that.
Yeah, hopefully. I do know that the Pitt County Sheriff's Office did tell us that they're looking into leads. They have some suspects in mind, but they have not arrested anyone yet in this case as the investigation keeps going. But if anyone has any kind of, video evidence, Ring doorbell camera footage, or pictures, or of anything that could, help with this investigation, reach out to the Pitt County Sheriff's Office. So hopefully these people can finally get a little sense of relief here.
And one of the things that the officers told me, which was a great tip, write down all the serial numbers of your stuff, because if they find it later, I had a chainsaw and a few other items stolen. you know, so if you had had that serial number off that, we could quickly identify, because a lot of these things show up in the pawn shops.
Gotcha.
And without some way of identifying it as yours, it's very hard to prosecute. So
Yeah.
serial numbers, jot them down, stick them in a file somewhere in case you ever are a victim.
Yeah, good tip there.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's talk weather now.
Sure. Yep, we'll switch gears, pop over to the weather computer, and no worries here, nothing to stress you out weather-wise for a while. That's looking better than it was. We had some thick fog down on the coast over the last few hours. Morehead City looking pretty good. Just some broken mid-level clouds, cool 5-4 out the door. Winds calm, thus the fog. We do have a dense fog advisory in effect for Carteret County, and then up the Outer Banks through Outer Banks, Hyde County, Ocracoke, Outer Banks, Dare County from the Oregon Inlet southward. So it'll be Rodanthe, Waves, Salvo, Avon, Buxton, Frisco, Hatteras Village through the Point in that advisory, although generally the fog has been running from about Hatteras southwestward. There's the fog. Latest visibility, New Bern, you were at 1/4, so that's an improvement to a mile. You can see Beaufort now at 1.25. That was down to 1/4. We just showed you that shot, Morehead City, right next door there. Hatteras thicker out towards the village there at 1/4 of a mile. And then Duplin County, you're kind of in that fog as well. From Kenansville southbound, 1/4 mile visibility. I usually say, and I'll say it again, whenever you see red on the visibility map, those are the trouble zones where you have to slow down when you drive. So coastal Carteret County, Onslow, Duplin counties, in and around New Bern, and then to Hatteras. That'll be gone in an hour. The fog will clear out. Really good looking day. It's 58 in Washington, another glorious water shot, the Pamlico River and then up the Tar River as you look at the old and new, relatively new Highway 17 bridges going up the river. And then we take it back to Greenville, good stuff. Broken thin mid-level clouds, little milky sunshine maybe. New Bern at 5-4 out the door. Coolish, I would call it. We're 10 degrees warmer, by the way, than we were yesterday morning. So no 40s, all 50s out the door. Satellite radar, and you look at it, it looks like we're socked in with clouds. The satellite doesn't discriminate between thin high clouds and low heavy overcast. It just paints it all the same, so it's hard to discern that. That's just thin high stuff, no big deal. Air temp, I mentioned, a little warmer than yesterday morning, 5 to 10 degrees above yesterday. Windsor, you're 12 degrees warmer, so mid to upper 50s. And now that we've lost the 40s, I don't know when they'll be back again. In fact, even 50s will be tough to come by over the next 7 to 8 days. Temperatures generally 60 to 80 degrees, and that 20-degree wheelhouse, if you will, that box from 60 to 80 for the next 8 days. 60 in the morning, 80 in the afternoon, and then all points in between through the course of the day. Winds 5-ish southwest on the breeze, including over in Stumpy Point. Susan, good morning to you over there. George with us as well. Thank you for the good morning wishes, George. And enjoy the great weather. Look at this afternoon. I threw a couple of 80s on there. Kinston, Kenansville. If we don't hit 80 a few of those spots, you'll be awfully close. I think we will. Yesterday, temps overachieved by 3 or 4 degrees. The model's spitting out generally near 79, so probably an 80 or 81 this afternoon in a few spots. And more sun than clouds. A few clouds here and there, but all in all, pretty darn good looking day. Watch the winds, southwest. That southerly component to the wind will likely continue all the way through the bulk of the weekend. Late Sunday night, maybe a brief change to a north wind, a little cool down, not much though. There's the overnight. We'll get you into tomorrow. Southwest wind, 5 to 10, maybe a 15-mile-an-hour gust. Reasonable winds, nothing too strong out there. Alrighty, so the temps, I always talk about a south wind warm numbers. There you see it, 79 today. Overnight lows tomorrow, I think not getting much below 60 out the door. We're at about 56 this morning, even a little milder tomorrow morning with about 60 to start the day. And then the 80s begin tomorrow and on into the weekend. Give you that big, wide perspective. And again, those temperatures generally holding 80 in the next week. The frontal boundary to the north kind of stays locked in up there. So the rain axis running from Jersey all the way back to the south side of Chicago, as I generalize, and it takes a little turn to the southwest into Oklahoma and Texas, and kind of again holds in that zone. There's later today, tonight, Tomorrow, front's kind of waffling around north and west of us, but nothing moving in. So the rain stays away, and that big blue H off the Florida coast, that ridge of high pressure keeps that return flow, we call it that south breeze, rolling up the southeast coast. Good stuff. Friday, still nice, mostly sunny. Rain stays out to the west. That's Saturday afternoon. That front to the west finally starts kicking eastbound this weekend. Well west of us Saturday, so no worries there. What's Sunday? Sunday morning, dry. Midday still dry. And then Sunday afternoon, the front energizes as the air warms, starts to squeeze out some showers, maybe a rumble of thunder. Sunday, mid-late afternoon, evening hours. By Monday morning, the front's kind of stalling over us and weakening, not staying real strong, so you don't see a lot of rain there Monday. I think there'll be some showers, but unfortunately not a ton of rain. If it's going to rain, we could use a good soaker. Severe risk to the west of us the next few days. That is a level 2 to 3 risk in the yellow to orange shaded areas from south central Kansas back into the Texas Panhandle. And then check it out from Chicago all the way through Dallas tomorrow, that risk of severe storms. When you start seeing the orange shading, typically the Storm Prediction Center is implying a tornado risk. And certainly I think there'll be a few tornadoes in the portions of Missouri, Kansas, maybe Oklahoma, and the northern Texas. That'll be tomorrow. And by the time we get to Saturday, I showed you the front headed eastbound, weakening as it does so. Our mountains, Saturday afternoon, stray storm or two, marginal risk, a level 1 severe weather risk. By the time that rain gets to us Sunday that I showed you, that risk will probably be gone altogether. Could I change my tune on that? It's possible, but right now I'm not seeing it. We should be fine on this one. So, enjoy. If you take the rain chance out late Sunday, Sunday night, Monday, every day is nearly identical. 80 for a high, 60 for a low, little morning fog here and there, partly cloudy in the afternoons. I think that's it every single day. The only change, Sunday, Monday, a few more clouds, some rain chances late day, Sunday, Sunday night. Monday it's tapering off, and that's right back into the low to mid 80s. Look at Wednesday, 84 for the high. And a reminder again to roll that clock forward Saturday night. That means the sunrise, which is at 6:30 now, will be at 7:30 a.m. next week. However, the sun sets, and I've got to check the time again. It'll be an hour later. I think it'll be 7:15 or so, the sunset time. That's nice.
Yeah.
Especially with the warm weather around, the evenings will be delightful.
For sure, especially if you get off of work at a normal time.
Yes.
It's nice to have that daylight after work for a little while longer out there.
Yeah.
But it's also nice. I mean, we've been talking about we're all getting ready for these 80s. You said the last time we saw 80s here was back in October. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was October 8th. The last time Greenville saw 80 on the thermometer. And when I say that, this is the airport thermometer, which is one of the official temperature measuring devices for Greenville. The last time that thermometer saw 80, October 8th, so we're talking 5 months since we've been to that mark.
Okay, yeah.
We may not get there today, but I think we will tomorrow, probably Saturday as well. It's been a long time waiting.
Hey, I mean, that's all right. We're ready for it, and
Yeah.
we've got a nice stretch coming here for us.
Yeah, enjoy it. And we were mentioning earlier, if you miss a day of the good stuff, you're going to have several more to enjoy it. I'm hoping that rain coming in late Sunday night, if that storm can get a little healthier, it'd be nice to get a 1 to 2 inch rainfall in here Sunday night to help as we quickly headed towards planting season now. We're still in the drought. That drought monitor will be updated later today.
Okay,
We'll have that for you guys tomorrow morning on the show.
Okay, great. Well, thank you for all the updates, Jim. And thank you, everyone, for joining us. We'll be back at 8 a.m. for another news and weather update, but have a great day.